let's get straight into the video. This is why you must be alone in your spiritual journey. Now, when we talk about being alone, in the postmodern society that we live in right now, that's considered very barbaric. That's considered something that's very abnormal. That's considered something that's very out of sight. If you go for a walk alone, the vast majority of people think you're crazy, right? But if you look at the spectrum of the world from an objective perspective, right? The vast majority of people are taking themselves to the slaughterhouse. So if you were to follow the tendencies and ways of the vast majority of people, they would lead you to the slaughterhouse. This means that in today's world, if you start to worry about what he, she will say about you, you are automatically putting yourself at a very devastating point, right? Now, you have to go through a period of isolation on your spiritual journey. You have to, we're going to get into why talking to yourself, looking at yourself even in the mirror, or just talking to yourself is so powerful. It's so powerful. Now, in a society where we are bombarded with social media, we're bombarded with the exterior outside world, we're bombarded with technology, we're bombarded with other people telling us what to do, how to think, right? We have lost touch. The vast majority of people have lost touch with their own thought, with their own soul. When you lose your own perspective, your own soul, you start to inherit people's ideologies, people's insecurities, people's traumas, people's thinking patterns. This is why the vast majority of people know that they shouldn't even be going to school. Like, a degree or a diploma is pointless. But they do it. Why? Because they see that society is going that way. And because they do not have a clear filter, right? Because they do not have a clear filter, right? They start to absorb other people's perspectives. This is exactly why if you don't get to, we're not in the age of belief anymore. You can't spell belief without spelling lie. You can't do it. We are in the age of knowing. You have to get to know thyself. You have to get to know who you are. If you're always just like, oh, believe. See, some things I don't even want to say. Because all the words that you say causes, are spellcasting. Everything you say is spellcasting. Now, you have infinite realities that you live in, okay? If you don't know, there's different worlds. Just being honest. This is why there are people, when they go to dream, they're like, when I was dreaming, that felt so real, and I felt like I was somewhere else, because you were somewhere else. You were somewhere else. The dream world is more real than this world, actually. But to tap into that world, if you are always, every day, bombarded with people's opinions, with people's perspectives, with people pushing their ideology on you, how are you going to get to know thyself? Do you see what I mean? Because getting to know thyself has a lot to do with going through a period of isolation, especially for chosen ones. Now, look at what happened to Jonah, right? Jonah got thrown into the well by his brothers. His brothers threw him into the well. Now, Jonah had to go in pure isolation for a period of time. And sometimes when you or I are going through a period of isolation, like for me personally, I had to go through a while, like years of isolation. Now, I wouldn't say it was like a complete isolation, like I'm living in Alaska or something alone with the bears. No, not, I don't mean it in that sense. But I mean it in a sense where you, every day, you're taking out a lot of time just to be alone. Or you have limited your circle of friends. You have limited the people that you allow into your life. Because people's energies can really affect your mood. People's energies can really start to affect your perspective or the actions that you take. And you can be one action away from elevating or from falling down. And I'm just being honest. Okay? This is why if you are chosen, I'm telling you right now, you will have to go through a decent period of isolation to find yourself. Now, if you're the type of person you always need to be with people to tell them your stories, to tell them how Sally didn't do you well, or to tell them how you're, I don't know, you're such a Joe, like you don't even know nothing about your life, whatever, you know, a lot of these people, like, a lot of folks right now, man, they can't go even like an hour without talking to someone. That's a stretch. Maybe a couple of minutes. Like, they wake up and like, oh, I gotta call him. Oh, I gotta call her. Oh, I gotta go on the TV. Like, have you seen how a lot of people, and look, I've been guilty of this, but me, like, I've been guilty of this, okay? People wake up first thing, the phone, okay? First thing is the phone. And honestly, I'm not here to judge anyone, you know, but even if you do that, just know that you still got to take out time for yourself. One of the best ways you could do that, honestly, is to go in nature. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Like, go in nature. Just, if for the people that can't meditate, it's very hard for me personally to meditate. Like, it's not the easiest. Like, before, I used to meditate 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at night. Right now, I just have like some weird stuff going on in my life. No excuses, to be honest, but my best, like right now, my form of meditation is like just being in nature. Just like, I just get a lot of ideas in nature, right? I get like a lot of creative ideas in nature. So being in nature is like what I used to do, or what I do right now too. Even what do you mean? I do it almost all the time. I think I do it almost every single day. I'm in nature almost every day, every single day. All right, give yourself some time, because honestly, if you're not good for yourself, and the one of the best ways you can be good for yourself is a half time in isolation. To be very honest, you have to be isolated for a period of time to get to know thyself. You have to, like, there's no other way. Like, there's not really any other way. Why do you think every prophet had to go to the cave? What's the cave? Where's the cave? Think about, that's something I want y'all to think about, okay? Think about that. Let me know. And honestly, have yourself a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are. Take care now.